Since I'm a kid and wanting a Chevelle SS, and now that we've settled on playing in the El Camino world, I've always loved these 71, 72 5-spokes. You know, this is what we're going to put on Big J's 71 big block car. At least that's, at last conversation, that's what we've decided to put on him. So even if we don't leave them on this car, certainly a good placeholder. And we can play around with these. Obviously, John's 71 is a long way from the road if that's where these wheels end up in the long run. Because, you know, SkidMark doesn't need anything authentic. But, again, local and a good deal. Certainly couldn't pass it up. And they've got tires on them. And he said they ran straight. They ran true. Man, if they weren't this light gray, I'd leave them. This is the wrong color, though. This light gray is not what they're supposed to be. Not for a 72, anyway. They're supposed to be like that dark, almost like a textured finish gray, which my understanding is such that those are not available anymore. I'm not leaving them this color for this car. See if I can't get this done today. Hopefully I can. I'm not really going to worry about the outermost lip of the wheel because it's not a show car. So this is what you have with these 71-2 rally wheels. The trim ring goes in this groove, leaving a very, very big void between the two parts. Kind of a funky wheel design. So what I did is I wrapped the tire in plastic and I just took a heater hose and I wrapped it around that lip to keep the plastic inside there. We're going to spray a wheel. We're going to see how it comes out. It's all been cleaned and scuffed and wiped down with thinner, so it's really pretty much ready for paint. I'm in my little paint booth. This is the little shed that we keep the El Camino in because it's pretty breezy outside. It seems like it's the summer of the breeze. So and I just slid a socket on the valve stem just so the valve stem doesn't get gray. All right, let's give it a shot of color and see how it comes out. And now these are coming out shinier than they were originally. The paint is a matte paint, so let's hope that it dries. It will, because this is wet, so it will dry much, you know, flatter than this. But that's the much more better color than that light silver. Man, that's laying down like yowzer. It's laying down really awesome. I did not expect them or want them to look like that. But that's good. It's a good thing. It's a good thing because they're pretty. Two down. Boy, that looks like it's clear coated. But you see how it's drying? Much more matte. That's what we want. All right, halfway done. Killer paint booth, huh? 3 down. Definitely shinier than I was hoping for, even though it says flat. Pretty mint. And just like that, they're painted. Enough for SkidMark. This is supposed to be wheel color also, the outer hoop, of course. But again, I utilized that to my advantage by installing this keeper, the heater hose, to hold the plastic bag around the wheel. So when you're at the shows and you're judging on this truck, this car, this hot rod, note that you'll see the wheel color, you'll see the stainless trim ring, which is not brushed, which should be for 71 and 72, and you'll see the gray rally wheel lip right there. It's okay. I'm cool with it. For this applique, I'm very cool with it. Heck, I could almost run it without trim rings. Let's let them dry. Let's polish up the trim rings that I threatened to not use. And have a refreshment and see how they look on the car. Well, really not bad after a couple hours of work. Not bad at all. I do need to get center cap emblems. We were missing 2. And the two we had were blue and gold. I'll look for something black and gold or whatever. But so, you know, as Yolan likes to say, the correct police, I know all too well, supposed to have brushed rings, 71, 72, I believe, not polished. And we do have one, for those who are going to ask, one wheel. See how that's got a round hole? One wheel over there has an oval hole. And you can see the wheel lip stick out a little bit past that trim ring. So that wheel over there is one by itself. These other three have round holes, and the trim rings actually stick out a little proud of the wheel, and the other one is a little inset. So that said, it is not a match set. It is 3 of one of another. That's okay. We'll, like I think most people do, right? We'll put the anomaly on the right rear, furthest from me. So that's the tire that's going to be getting smoked off this thing. All right, let's clean some tools up and bring this car around front here, the garage door. And what do we think of that? I've always wanted a set of those wheels. All the cars I've had, never had these wheels on one. I'm digging it. I just don't like the way that looks with the big center cap and the narrow Corvette rallies. They're not even Corvette rallies, right? Corvette rallies are 15 by 8s. These are just rallies, 15 by 7s. That's a great, great look. I dig all of that. That's not a terrible look. That's a cool look, man. I think that's where I want to be right now. I'm really happy with it. No idea how it rides or drives or how noisy those are. They're old GT qualifiers. I think it pulls it off. I'm telling you, it actually rides great. It rides so much better than the other tires. Those radial TAs were smoked. It rides pretty good. Not like the OG, but it rides pretty good. Let's see how it hooks up. A little better than those radial TAs, actually. That's how you do it. Oh my God. I'm gonna get in so much trouble now. Yeah, I'm a dumb animal, folks. That's a problem. These babies smoke up. Okay, sorry everybody. Time to put the toy away, Steve-O. I'd say all in all, that is a very, very acceptable and favorable upgrade. Old tires, old rims, they don't even really match one another. A little bit of Rust-Oleum and some elbow grease. While these suffice, and these are fine, 15 by 7 rally wheels, I'm not a fan of the big center caps. I've always wanted these 5-spoke ones. It totally changes the look of this car. And it rides much, much better. You don't always have to get brand new this and brand new that. Sometimes a cheap little upgrade like this, the key is you gotta kind of go through it, you know? You gotta find the right people to buy stuff from, and these guys were straight shooters. I don't know that they knew one wheel was different than the other, and I didn't really care. For the price, with tires, all good. But straight shooters are good to deal with when you're buying used parts on the marketplace. And this, in my opinion, was well worth it. All right, more to come on SkidMark, the shop truck. I'll send some photographs out, send some video to Joe. And I'm just gonna keep enjoying this thing little by little. Do have to do the other quarter panel, for sure. That might be what's next.